Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome back to IXION episode 19. We have reached Remus. But, as we've seen in the previous episode, we do need to get in touch with these people to figure out exactly what they want. They said something about us having to change our genetic kinetics in order to actually be able to live there. So let's send out Darwin, who else better for the task at hand than the science ship Darwin. In the meanwhile, the rat is at Palatine, another planet. Despite the interference from the intense cloud cover of Palatine, our probe was still able to detect unusually high levels of mercury on its surface. The planet's environment's toxic, I mean, most of them are, but should not pose a problem for our teams. We've landed on Palatine near the highest registered concentrations of mercury. A huge river of the element flows over a cliff, a waterfall in silver, ending in an ocean several kilometers away. We're going to set up infrastructure. It's only 100 alloys, and I have a ton. Let's send out the glue scap again, and in the meanwhile, I have found probably tons of iron. Yeah, loads. I've set up my science and mining ships, so they all do something. I've set these up in a sort of triangular pattern, so I have one prioritizing iron, one prioritizing carbon, one prioritizing silicon. Secondary priority is the next button over. And this way, these things should all have at least one focus. And I'm going to have the same thing going on for the cargo ship. So 1, 1, and 1. And then, if you're not busy picking up iron, you can pick up carbon. If you're not busy picking up carbon, you can pick up silicon. And if you're not busy picking up silicon, you can go for iron. And as a third, you can go there. This needs to be a third. And this also needs to be a third. There. In the meanwhile, researching additional upgrades. I have the smart homes upgrade, so I can now house a ton of people per quadrant, or per sector. That still might not be enough. I'm not sure how many I'm going to have to offload at Remus. For that, we'll first have to figure out what the Remulans? Whatever, what the Romulans want. And that's what the science ship is there for. I'm also going to keep sending out probes. There's probably a lot more science to be had. There's ice to be had. Where is that scientific event there? With 2 probe launchers, this is really quite the comfortable process, because it goes a lot faster. So, what research next? I have completed most of the inner tree, except for some of the mining ship and workshop upgrades. I don't particularly find these to be really useful, because risk foresight and making mechs construct buildings faster. Well, this one perhaps. I have 445 science, so I have a ton. But there's still something that I don't know. There's still an unknown somewhere in the storyline. Where that is, I don't know. And exactly what we're going to need for that, I don't know either. So we're going to have to be potentially a little bit careful with the amount of resources that I spend. Let's see, there's another 49 there on a planet called Numitor. Remus. Let's first get the science. The cargo ship. That's the Pandora. Oh, here's the Gluskin. You're dropping off the resources that are needed. Yes, excellent. How many can you carry? How many can you carry, my friend? Oh, sorry, this is an inbound cargo ship with silicon, so they can carry 53. Quite a bit. Oh, we got a request. How can I help you, good people? Here. Despite its thorough chemical processing and convincing synthetic flavoring, food produced from waste is proving to be an unpopular item with the crew. Go figure. Often the crew good-naturedly make jokes about the parallels between food and their garbage, but sometimes the seed of discord grow in the soil of humor. Yeah, I can just turn this off. I don't strictly need it. I got tons and tons of food being made. So I should have no problems turning off the mushroom wall for 30 cycles. Now, what other scientific event lies out there? And what other orbits can we find? There's another one. That's a lot of resources. Remus almost done. Here we go. Agora of the 3rd generation, representative of the Ashtangites, has invited us to send a delegation to Remus to observe their community and way of life on the planet. Administrator, we were greeted most solemnly by the Ashtangites. Their morphology is different to ours. Taller, thinner, their skin has a slight green shade to it. Atmospheric readings indicate that oxygen is present, but in insufficient quantities to support the unadapted Tycoon crew on Remus without respiratory assistance. We have not witnessed any sign of poverty or conflict, and the population density is much lower than that of the Earth we left. Okay, let's leave. Let's meet. Let's see what these people can share with us. Vulcan? Is this some sort of Star Trek episode? I mean, we got Vulcan, we got Remus. What's next? Are we gonna find Kronos? That'd be funny. What's for resources? Yeah, we're definitely gonna need that bigger iron deposit. We do have a ton of silicon and I already got 80 electronics stored. So electronics we're definitely not lacking. Palatine. Almost all of Palatine's weather systems have been infiltrated by Mercury. Go figure. The resulting dense and toxic cloud cover would not prove conducive to the development of life or any potential colonization efforts. Yeah, I expected that much. So let's not waste any time on that. We got 2 probes going there. Anything out here? Bunch of hydrogen. This part seems fairly limited. There's hydrogen there. Tons and tons of silicon there. Hull integrity is going to be maximum 500. It's not great. It's going to possibly be problematic later. But, well, it says this is the final destination, so perhaps. We've met with the Ashtangite representatives. We were surprised at first by the limited ceremony of what seems to us a momentous occasion. Received on a beach, we were then taken to a cliff top that looked out over their ocean. Many Ashtangites joined the gathering. Some simply watched, others inspected our suits and devices. Following our exchanges with Agora and the other members of the Ashtangites hierarchy, a proposal was made. If we agree to join them, the Ashtangites will reveal locations of temples within the Ilias system. Each temple contains a fragment of a blueprint for a bioengineering center. That's the last research. Constructing this on board the Tycoon will allow us to adapt ourselves for life on Remus. I suppose I can either accept or not. It's really that simple. Let's do that. Let's accept it. This is the Ilias system. So all these other science things, most likely going to be parts of that research center that we have to research and then build.
A probe has completed its scan.
Let's see what you got. Was that the iron deposit? Oh yeah, 2200 iron. Perfect. Population almost 5,000. It still seems really light to start a new, well, I suppose we're post-human at this point. Post-human society. And I don't know, maybe cross-breeding with the Romulans, the Ashtangites. We received the signals for 3 Ashtangite temples within the Ilias system. We will now be able to locate the temples with our probes. This is the way. The Darwin's team will visit different Ashtangite settlements and learn more about their tech. Agora has offered to have them accompanied by some of the Ashtangite's most efficient researchers. Yes. Let's do that. I, for one, don't strictly know where these things are. We should be able to locate them with our probe. The Temple of Merit, the Temple of Common Sense, and the Temple of Free Will. Okay. What's on Plutarch? Nothing that we're looking for. Numitor. Abnormal heat zones. Aventine. High amounts of particles. And Vulcan. Electromagnetic disturbances. On the comet. Oh. Okay. First, Palatine. Bloody hell. The team of the Rat discovered the source, a huge lake of mercury from which the liquid metal flows. During survey efforts, Conan Tyrell fell into the lake and seems to have ingested large quantities of the mercury. They were saved by the team, but mission reports detail how Conan Tyrell experienced multiple hallucinatory visions from the exposure. He describes witnessing UN attacks on Dolos's infrastructure, wars and famine sweeping across the earth, massive crowds being crushed together, fleeing from deadly mobs. Dolos's security protocols recommend Conan Tyrell be transferred to an infirmary immediately. Let's do that. Let's bring this ship back and make sure that this guy gets the medical attention he needs. Of course, after getting all the science. This is going according to plan. Excellent. Can I already research that new building? No, not yet. Remus. Ashtangite technology is greatly influenced by its terrestrial heritage, but often involves some form of genetic manipulation. Oxen are used to fertilize their fields, their tails adapted for plowing. Trees produce fruits of considerable size, their bark serving as food for other giant, aphid-like creatures. Ashtangite buildings are made from cut stone blocks and a fungus that shapes and strengthens the structure over time. Their scientists pointed out the watchbirds that serve as lookouts and communicate in ultrasound. Wow. We have completed a detailed report that contains the knowledge the Ashtangites have shared with us. So, that's a ton of free research. Where am I going to... Well, where am I supposed to spend all of it? Because I'm not really sure. There's... I believe I can still research some more stuff. I mean, I can still get the observatory, I can still get the whole temple. I don't really see the benefit of that. This is not something I need. What research would help me? Cell housing? No, no. No, no. I don't need cell housing. Alternative Life Center, maybe memorials, they have upgrades for those. Again, it's a further booster to stability. My stability on the ship is currently really good. Let's go for the docking bay. And construction speed? I don't know. I don't believe I have anything further to construct. Let's go for making the probes move faster. Let's have a look at what Plutarch has in store. Further readings from Plutarch revealed the planet to be a gravitational aberration. Potential sites for analysis have been located. Exoskeleton technology will allow our team to begin planetary exploration. Fragmented transmissions from the Rat's crew are coming through at an extremely rapid rate. They say they have arrived on site and have been awaiting instructions for several cycles now. Oh boy, we got time travel potential. Temporary study center or infrastructure to support advanced analysis. That's a lot of alloys, but why not? Why not? I have the alloys, and I know that there is a lot of iron to mine here. Let's make that a secondary priority for the Rhino. Again, I have tons of resources. I feel like I am perfectly fine here. What I don't like is that my hull integrity is dropping. I don't know if I can still counteract this, because I'm already running at fairly high efficiency, but it's just one short. So it could mean that in 350 cycles the Tycoon just crumbles, falls apart. As we are looking into the other planet, let's also check out Vulcan. There are numerous electromagnetic disturbances on the surface of the comet Vulcan. First visuals capture the comet's vibrant green tail. This is the team of the Darwin. We've landed on Vulcan. Proximity analysis indicates the comet is shedding large amounts of boron. Significant electromagnetic disturbances have also been detected. They appear to be similar in nature to those that were observed on the Rotenkansky. Okay. In the Immortan system. Check that out. We've also located the 3 temples, the Common Sense, Free Will, and Merit. And I will look into those after I am done going for the other planets. In the meanwhile, I'm just researching as much as I can, because I'm still getting so much research that I'm not really sure where to spend it. And I'm basically waiting for that new building to become available.
We have detected the presence of
What?
an EMS warship in the Ilia system. The Pyreneesi has followed in the footsteps of your Viale.
What?
We have no weapons, no military solution against such an enemy. To ensure the survival of this settlement in Ilia, you will have to find a way to silence him, once and for all.
The fuck?
Administrator, a new request awaits your attention.
What the hell? This thing is supposed to be dead. This thing is supposed to be dead. This is problematic. How did that thing survive? Everything confirms the sad truth that Pyreneesi has followed us to the Ilia system. Oh, lovely.
Administrator, I am not dead yet. I will feed on your pitiful community. I will build my rebirth. Are you ready for your simulation?
A probe has completed its
It doesn't sound strictly healthy. It sounds like it might still have taken some sort of damage from the pulsar. And we inspected it back in the day. I believe it was, well, I believe it was dead, or at least fairly dead, but apparently it's not. This hull integrity is thankfully going back up. What's happening on Vulcan? We ventured down into the crevasses of Vulcan, seeking the source of the electromagnetic disturbances. Entering a small cave full of luminescent boron crystals, we stopped to take readings. Results seemed to vary. Proceeding further in, we found a large floating grey sphere, again, similar to the one found by the Professor crew. After liaising with the Tycoon scientific community, a number of controversial theories have been put forward and proposals made for possible experiments that might be attempted on the sphere. Debate continues. I've noticed a growing fascination for the sphere among the other expedition members. This is absurd, since it's obviously only for me. What? I can analyze it. I can perform a suggested experimentation based on previous interactions with Rokatansky. I can also allow the team free reign, or I can just leave the place. Strict psychological surveillance. I don't trust my own team that much. At least not anymore. Is this thing moving? Not currently. Okay, so at least that's something. For now, it does not seem to be a threat. Yet. Plutarch. We're no longer receiving transmissions from the Rats team. What? Biometric reports suggest that the team experienced accelerated aging. Oh boy. Insanity, hunger, dehydration, and finally death. The expedition will be declared lost. I can abandon it, or I can repatriate the rats. Shit. I was hoping that was somehow going to get my science ship back, but no. A bit of a trust hit, but with a 9 and almost 10% boost, I'm not particularly concerned about it. We're gonna build a new ship. What could possibly go wrong if you name a ship Oppenheimer? That sounds like a plan. No. Oh, an unknown upgrade. The Darwin is still on Vulcan. The next science ship is going to go out to one of these temples. Because I don't know if the Pyreneesi is just going to casually hang back, or if it's going to go on the offensive. I do somewhat have a plan to deal with this thing. It's going to involve building that habitation center, or that bioengineering thing, offloading the entire crew on Remus, and then ramming what is left of the Tycoon into the Pyreneesi. That's, let's say, a rather Star Trek Voyager way of going about things. Whether that will work, I don't know.
A science ship team
Vulcan.
completed a task.
By applying preventative monitoring protocols, the team of the Darwin were able to counter any perceived negative impact from the sphere. Successfully sending several measuring devices into the sphere itself, the team was able to collect a large number of unusually precise datasets. Look at that, 575. I don't believe I have time to waste. Because I'm not sure when the Pyreneesi is going to decide to go on the offensive. And I'd rather not find out. So I'm going to go for the temples. Although it's entirely likely that it's a scripted event and the Pyreneesi is going to go on the offensive the moment that you start to look into the temples. You never know with this game. You never quite know. Oh crap, we got too much ice stored. I'm not sure if I can burn off any ice anywhere. This thing's maxed out. And this whole sector is a bit cramped. Are we bringing in ice? Yeah, we are. Stop doing that. Any other locations where I can get a science ship built? Yes, here. Build it here. That's the Stanford. If we can build it eventually, that'd be great. It's just not really a priority. The Darwin's going to be vacuuming up the science. And let's see, electronics. Less working force required there would be much appreciated. Seeing as I need my workers elsewhere. The insect farm is something I'm not actively using. The algae farm can still get an additional plantation, although I wouldn't know where. Waste treatment centers. Yeah, why not? Let's start working on that one. Okay, where's my new science ship? Oh, it's being built right now. And I have no more room for others. What do you people need? The Scientific Syndicate of Sector 1 has found a solution for the Pyreneesi problem. Yeah, we've heard that before. Now that we have finally received a viable exoplanet, reached a viable exoplanet, the Tycoon has no further purpose. As preparations are being made for colonization, the Tycoon sector should be filled with batteries. Once they are charged and the crew is ready for exit, a flight path will be plotted, wow, I predicted that, for the Tycoon to crash into the Pyreneesi. Igniting the stored power should be enough to destroy the BMS warship. Administrator, in the scenario where there is no longer any life on board the Tycoon, I am authorized as the PA of this station to lead it to its end. Last stand. Understood. Build enough batteries to cover an area of 1,000 tiles. I have 461 out of 1,000. The problem that I see is that if I open up a new sector, I'm going to be taxing my workforce, which is already fairly limited. Ah, the Stanford's ready. Stanford, you're going to go to the Temple of Common Sense. I can always come back with the Darwin. Let's just go. Do I have any ships which are not actively doing anything? Yeah, the Wallow. I'm going to unassign the Wallow from 2. Not disband. There. Get me a new science ship. Oh. Never mind, that's the same problem. We can't actually go about that because there's no room. Is it possible for me to store any ice anywhere else? Oh crap, this sector is just hovering up all the iron. 5. Go for half, please. And 1 needs to max out its iron, if you will. Because 5 is just my storage sector. But it has a bunch of iron, and the iron is not actually reaching the furnaces here. So we gotta make sure that this thing gets filled. And I looked into that to see if I can store any ice. Let's just put the ice here. And let's get some of the ice from... What is that? 2? Let's say I want half the ice in 2. And half the ice here. So sector 1 is going to get ice. Half. Good. That means here. We have arrived. We enclose... Let's see. We located the room where one of the 3 parts of the plan for the bioengineering center is stored. The temple's rooms contain objects and testimonies left by the people who have become cognizant to common sense and its bias. Excellent. explore it and study it. I'm going to do the same thing there. Here, we lock up the illusion of free will. This fictional narrative prevents us from seeing what we are and what we can do. There's no choice, because the motivations that led us to choose pre-exist the choice. What? Following the directions of the Ashton guides, we located a room where one of the 3 parts is stored. Okay, we're going to explore and study that. Pyreneesi is nicely holding position. I don't know if I need to start prepping my colonists to go... Yeah, there's nobody in training. To go and train additional colonists this center. Because I don't know if they actually need to be trained as colonists or not. Yeah, we're gonna open up this sector. It needs to get done because I need to get those battery requirements filled.
A science ship team has completed a task.
Very good. Is that you? What the fuck? The crew of the Stanford have decided to remove their helmets and die in the Temple of Common Sense. Beautiful, that's common sense. They say that space is no place for humanity. They refuse to become Ashtongites, who they call in their reports neurasthenic geraniums. According to them, ending themselves there and then was the only thing to do. The Stanford will be sent back to the Tycoon via autopilot. The Darwin's team are not responding to our hails. Before comms breakdown, the team had started to act differently, ceasing to follow recommended Dolos protocols. They seem to have disappeared into the depths of the temple. The Darwin will be sent back to the Tycoon via its autopilot. Seriously, I lose more people to science ships than to anything else. Thankfully, these science ships can maneuver on their own power and don't need any further guidance. But bloody hell. It's probably not going to be great for the crew, seeing all of their science ships come home, well, dead, essentially. It's a bit of an issue. It's a bit of an issue. This is coming online soon. Good. Now, does this mean I need to send a new science ship? Ah, that one's complete. The Oppenheimer. Go back to the Temple of Merit, please.
Incident has occurred in the Tycoon.
Oh, sorry, not go back. We've not visited the Temple of Merit. I'm not going to have them study this. Just pick up the shit and get out. Because I keep losing personnel here. Stanford. Temple of Common Sense. Off you go.
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
Francis. Go there. No, retrieve the fragment and leave. Thank you very much. That's all you need to do. It's really that simple, because I don't trust you to do anything else. The Darwin can go and get the stuff from Balkan.
Administrator, a new request awaits your attention.
What is your request? They're getting a lot of requests these days.
A sector is being overworked.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. All sectors of the Tycoon have been unlocked. The crew feels motivated, knowing the station is now fully operational. Trust bonus plus 10. Perfect. Hull integrity is once again dropping, so I'm going to have at least something in this sector to help boost that. Let's build a nice little road and make sure that we get all the parts that we need here. Sorry, no, not this road. Get me a workshop. Get me a storage and another storage. And a mess hall. All the usual requirements. Very good. So you got the stuff. The team retrieved that fragment and boarded the Oppenheimer. Excellent. Oppenheimer, back to the Tycoon, please. I'm not sure if the part... Temple of Common Sense. Get it and go. Oppenheimer should be back. There we go. Oppenheimer can now go to the planet called Numitor. Right. So let's start clearing out this sector and make sure that we turn this into a floating battery. In more ways than one. Get all of this stuff out of here. Yeah, I'll have to set up a couple more storages to actually have all the parts that I need. Because we're going to need electronics. And we're going to need a bunch of alloys. Probably both in fairly sizable quantities or it won't work.
Science ship has arrived at its destination.
So let's set up another maintenance part. Like a medium stockpile. For alloys. Build that, please. And this is going to turn into this.
Hull integrity below 50%.
Why? I don't like that one bit. Space. EVA airlock. Position's atrocious, but without hull integrity, the whole ship's going to be atrocious. Let's just dismantle a probe launcher. Because having 2 probe launchers is more luxury than a necessity at this point. So this probe launcher, disassemble it. And let's just put another EVA airlock in spot there. This requires 9 and this also requires 9 personnel. So personnel-wise, I'm not losing out on anything. Let's make sure that over here we get some habitable space. You are at the Temple of Common Sense. Retrieve the fragment. Retrieve the fragment and leave.
An accident has occurred in the Titus.
Tons and tons of accidents again. Get this, this, and this. And let's start balancing out these requirements. Alloys, electronics, go to half and half. Food would also probably be much appreciated. And Sector 5 is being overworked. See, I got no further workers available anywhere. Basically, most sectors are understaffed. I can send about 15 people, workers only, from 3 to 5. Which should help out a little bit, but it's not great. Is that new bay available yet? Yeah, perfect. So, space. Build me another EVA airlock. And somebody please keep this hull integrity functional. Or at least well enough. The Stanford, come back. Can I already build that new science center? No. Why not? What is it that I need? Retrieve the... Oh. Right. The Oppenheimer was over there. The Darwin's over there. Let's go back. Back to the Tycoon. Temple of Free Will. Good. Got it. Okay, now I should be able to get it. Build it. There it is. Holy Jesus, that thing is enormous. How much does that take? 509. Okay. Well, that's going to be a bit of a project. It's going to take a large amount of resources. I think that there is still some life left in this game. And we still need to do a lot. So I'm going to end it here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. And the next episode, we're going to do some bioengineering. So join me for that. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you soon for more.